The crying games. That's what they've been dubbed as athlete after athlete has burst into tears. There's been weeping in the stands too, as family members and supporters and even commentators have all found themselves welling up. So what's making so many people break down in public? Joining me by webcam from Atlanta, Georgia is Jared DeFife, a clinical psychologist and a research scientist at Emory University. It's great to have you on the program. Is there a psychological explanation for this?
Well, there's a lot of reasons that go into athletes breaking down into tears and us welling up into tears while watching them. First and foremost of the reasons is the reflection that comes after putting such a career performance together, the things that you've sacrificed and the people who've helped you reach this peak of your career. And I think after the athletes win and they reflect back on that, the emotion begins to well up. And seeing that in them makes us well up too, and it humanizes them.
Okay, you can understand athletes being a bit emotional when they've triumphed after such hard work. You can even understand family members. But how do you explain people in the crowd, fans who just get so overwhelmed by all this?
Well, these athletes do superhuman things. Not all of us can run an under a 4-minute mile. But when we see their emotions and we see their human stories, we can really relate to that. And it really humanizes them. And so then we start to feel that emotion too, and we get involved in the emotion of the moment. And it causes tears to well up even in the hardest hearts across the land.
Dr. DeFife, do you think that people develop perhaps a stronger connection to athletes who are willing to express such emotion as opposed to those who win gold and, deliver just a simple smile and a stern glance?
Yeah, I think so. I think seeing them express those emotions makes us feel closer to them. I think there are situations in which that isn't the case, in which you see athletes crying out of anger or frustration, feeling that they've gotten an unfair shake or a bad call or things didn't go their way. I think people don't respond as well or feel as good about sort of that losing control or breaking down in anger. But seeing an emotional release is something that really humanizes and helps us connect with the athletes.
For the benefit of the athletes themselves, Dr. Fife, is it a good thing to cry?
Oh, I think so. It's better to express those emotions. I mean, this is their one chance. It's a very peak stage in their performance and career, and it helps them process that emotions. You don't want them to hold that in and sort of not experience that. A lot of athletes kind of feel numb, and it takes a moment to set in. But particularly when the anthems play, and they get that moment of self-reflection, is when you see that emotional well up the most. And I think it's good to help them process the moment, process the feelings of where they've been and how they got here.
A moment that few of us will ever experience, but thank you very much for being with us, Dr. Jared DeFife of Emory University in the United States. Now, before we go, some of the abiding images of every Olympics, of course, are the still images caught by photographers. I'm going to leave you with some of the best from day 11.